My name is Sean Symons, PPG Grandpa. This is season 4, episode 199 with Hunter Tuned. We are going to be streaming live to YouTube. You can always find us over at clearproptv.com, and we are now live on our custom stream. Welcome, everybody, once again. This is season 4, episode 199. Hunter Tuned
This is season 4, episode 199 with Hunter.
Oh, I think that was you, Will. So we have Hunter here, and we're going to say hello to everybody on the panel real quick. Let's start with Linda Anderson, paramotorusa.com.
Hey, welcome everybody.
Welcome,
I'm super
welcome.
excited. Thanks for hanging with us tonight, Hunter. Our awesome guest tonight. I'm super excited about Mondays. And thank you, chatters and listeners and everybody joining us tonight. It's going to be a great show. So sit back, grab those snacks and all that good stuff. And if you want to be a guest on the show like Hunter, just go to paramotorusa.com. We'll take you right to my beautiful Facebook page and say hey, I want to be a guest on your show. And I'll set you up and we'll have a good time. So everybody just sit back and enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. And paramotorusa.com actually goes to her own page that has links to all of her social media. So make sure you go and check that out.
That's
Thank you,
my
Linda, for being here.
page.
And
yes,
thank
I have
you.
to say that. My own
Your
page.
special page. And thank you so much for everything you do. We definitely appreciate
Thank you.
We also got Scuba Steve from paramotordude.com. What's up, big dog?
That's it, paramotordude.com. Yeah, thanks, Hunter, for coming on tonight. I don't know if anybody else in the chat, in Super Chat, has watched Hunter's videos. If not, I recommend going and doing so. He's kind of new to paramotoring, but man, he has given it his all, which I really appreciate seeing something like that. I do a show every Friday, 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. If you go to paramotordude.com, it'll take you to my show. And also my paramotor videos are sprinkled through there, but I got like a playlist of paramotor videos. So you can watch those and all my mistakes, because I post my accomplishments as well as my mistakes, because I think we can all learn from it. So there you go.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for all the stuff you do, especially talking with about paramotors on your show. We also got Will Fly from willflyppg.com. What's up, bud?
What's going on? Good to be here. Monday night, my favorite show. Yeah, you can check out my videos on YouTube. Just search for Will Fly, and you can go. What is it? Sean willflyppg.com. I also post all of Steve's mistakes on my channel too. So if you're interested in that, man, that's the place to go.
That is awesome. We probably need a page that's just called scubastevemessups.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I do want to say, Hunter, yeah, really, man, you're what it's all about. The guy just starting out, that's awesome. So welcome to the sport, or the sickness, whichever you want to call it.
Flying's the only cure, man.
I think it's a sickness. I really do. And speaking about sickness, we got Kevin from Mississippi. What's up, big Kevin?
Hey, how's everybody?
You got the sickness too, right? You're coming up this weekend and spending 3 days to fly, right?
I am. I will be leaving here Thursday afternoon, evening.
And then we're going to be flying. And at night we'll be making s'mores all over the fire because, man,
yeah, tell Hunter that Kevin's got one flight?
One
flight. So that's what you and I know Hunter knows that. So he is really anxious to get another flight in. He's like biting at the bit. So
I know it's all about the weather thing.
Once.
It's all about the weather thing. It sucks. But anyway, welcome to the show. We got Kevin Toon. He has a really awesome YouTube channel. If you go there, the description is down below. You can be able to click that link. He has over 45,000 subscribers. He is really super awesome. Just started paramotoring. Has about 3 hours of flying under his belt. So welcome to the show, Hunter. Glad you made it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is really cool what you guys do. And I was just a viewer the other week, and I just was commenting down there like you guys should be. And look at here now, I'm on the show.
Well, that's awesome. Millions and millions of people are watching you right now. Don't feel nervous. It's okay.
No, the
Well,
pressure's on.
I know, right? So we will be spinning the spinning wheel tonight. So at Will Fly, if you want to be on the spinning wheel, Hunter actually has a couple of stickers because he has his own logo, his own stuff, which is really cool. And we're going to be spinning the wheel twice at about 7:30. So make sure you are here and not square. Hunter, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into paramotoring.
Well, my YouTube channel is called Hunter Tuned. I kind of come from a background of car stuff, and I build hot rods, and we do a lot of drag racing up here in Wisconsin. Been building cars and tuning cars. I have a chassis dyno. We do a lot of tuning and installing turbochargers and making cars faster than what they should be up here. And I have been doing that for like 10 years. And I've just been kind of it's become a job more or less so than a fun hobby for me. So I was looking into new stuff and watched Tucker Gott's video, just like a lot of people probably did to first get introduced to the sport, and saw some guy flying a $3,000 AliExpress paramotor, and I was like, wow, I can get into this for $3,000. Needless to say, I was mistaken, but yeah, that's kind of how I got introduced to it. And yeah, that's kind of it, I guess.
I
I
think
just
that
thought it looked really cool from YouTube, but I didn't know how much work was really involved, honestly.
that's true. I wonder how many people watch Tucker Gott, and that's why they got into the show. That's me here. Anybody else on the panel? And if you guys did in the super chat, let us know that Tucker Gott got you in the sport also. So you do a lot of really cool things up there in Wisconsin. It's kind of cold right now. What kind of flying do you do when it's cold, or do you just work on cars?
Well, I got introduced to the sport. I would say I found Tucker in like May or June of this year. So like the majority of the summer and the good weather that we have had has been mainly spent like kiting. I recently started flying. I don't know if you look on my channel, but my first flight was right around the end of the summer. So right when the weather started going downhill is right when I started going uphill, up into the sky. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now I know that I watched your hopping up in the air just a little bit.
Yeah.
So was that your very first one where you just hopped a little bit? You just got a little bit of air and it's like woo, and then you went out for more flights or what?
Yeah, so I practiced kiting pretty much all summer, and I was very intimidated by, actually flying. Believe it or not, I got into this sport absolutely terrified of it. So I'm very scared of heights, and I'm very scared of the, actually being like in the sky was terrifying to me. So it was very hard for me to commit actually to launching. So kiting, I got really good at that, or I would say, for me, I got good at it. And then I slowly introduced the motor, and I ran with the motor on my back, and I still kited, and then I had it running. And then eventually, I built up enough confidence to actually get into the throttle a little bit. And as soon as I did, I was actually startled one time where it actually just picked me up, and I had no choice but to just kind of fly for a second. And I think I got scared the first couple of times that like it actually picked me up off the ground. I was like, oh crap, this is happening. And then I kind of just went up and came down and practiced taking off and landing a couple times without the variable of turning and actually using brake. I was very fortunate enough to have a very big LZ, as you guys say, or paramotor pilots, a takeoff place or a landing spot. A local farmer here actually gave me access to about 100-acre field with pretty much no trees. You guys can see in the bunny hop videos, it's a pretty wide open spot. So I kind of just used that place to, get good at taking off and landing and building up the confidence, to actually take flight. And I did that for probably 15 or 20 times, honestly, before I finally went up and I said, you know what, I'm gonna come back to where I took off because it sucks when you take off and then you land like away from your vehicle or whatever, and then you got to hike all your gear way back to the vehicle. So I got sick of doing that after about 15 or 20 times, and I told myself I'm gonna turn around and go back to the truck, and I did.
That's pretty awesome. So, what kind of gear are you flying right now? What is your motor? What is your wing? And what is your all-up weight?
So I bought some gear used from a local paramotor pilot that got out of the sport to get into his private. He got his private pilot's license, and he needed the money to kind of get into that stuff. But I got a pretty good deal on a Parajet Maverick and a Moster 185, and I actually bought the motor and an Ozone Spider 3 as like a package deal from this guy for a pretty good price. And then I was told by a couple people that like maybe the wing, I might be a little bit heavy on that Spider 3. So I ended up buying from another local guy, Ozone Kona 2 27 meter. And he kind of told me that would probably be a better wing for me to have my takeoffs would be a little bit easier, and it'd be probably a little bit more stable in flight and a little bit better for a beginner. So I got the Ozone Kona 2 27 meter, and that's the main wing that I've been flying. But the Spider 3 is a wing that I'm hopefully going to progress into, so I'm keeping it around. I thought about selling it, but I think it'd be a good wing to possibly grow into later.
Spider 3s are really awesome. Almost a nil win. You can do a reverse on that. What size is your Spider?
It's a 26 meter.
26. Okay. Well, I mean, that's still good. I mean, what's your all-up weight?
I want to say I'm around 300 pounds all up with the motor and fuel. I personally myself weigh about 220 to 225, depending on what I ate that morning.
Mhm.
And, with my gear and everything like that, I actually did step on the scale with about a half a tank of gas. And I want to say it was around like 290 or something like that, possibly. It was a while ago when I did it, but I'm just on the upper end of that 26 meter Spider 3.
Okay. And you said that you did fly that or just kite the Spider?
I have kited it quite a bit, and I flew it one time. Funny story, I actually was at the park one day here locally, and I packed my wing up kind of crappy, and all the lines got tangled. Like, it was a disaster. I wish I had a picture I would show you guys. Actually, I might find it here in a minute. But the lines, I get to the park and I laid my wing out, and it was a beautiful night. And taking advantage of the good weather that we're having here in Wisconsin, I knew winter was coming and stuff like that, and I was getting ahead of myself a little bit. But I just got really frustrated with all the lines being all tangled, and I'm like, how am I supposed to get this out? Needless to say, it took me about 2 hours to get it untangled. But I'm like, I have that Spider 3. I should just grab that and fly that. And I did. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm ready for this thing. But I did fly it one time. Just did a little lap around my little park that is local here. And holy crap, man, that thing's so much faster than the Kona.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Spider is just incredible. My first wing was a Roadster 3, which is the heavier version of the Spider 3. And my first wing was a 28. And I think I was 220 pounds-ish when I first started also. Kind of gained a little bit of weight. So I'm trying to do a little something about that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I figured I'd be losing more weight getting into this sport. But I guess I'm not as much as I thought.
Yeah, it's amazing. Once you do your training and your kiting and your flying, then it's like, oh, well, this is easy. All you have to do is do this, give some gas and I'm flying, and then you start to balloon up again.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
That happened to me. So
I mean, Sean's got some videos, and I know there's a lot of other videos on YouTube of how to detangle your wing.
Yeah, well, I guess I learned the hard way with a lot of stuff. I tune cars and I drag race and stuff like that. We always push stuff to the limit, and we turn up the boost and turn up the motor a little bit more and more until it explodes, and then you're like, okay, now I know what not to do. Yeah, so I did get a couple tangles before that day, but this one specifically that day, man, it really made me frustrated, and I learned pretty quick of how to just start at the A at the top of the wing and then just walk your way back to the riser and just kind of pull the pull the risers up through the A's or whatever. And I just did that, and slowly but surely I ended up getting it all out. But yeah, it was definitely a learning curve trying to get the tangles out of the lines. And now I'm learning how to pack it up a little bit better so that doesn't happen in the future. So when I get to the park or get to the place I'm going to fly at, it's just as simple as laying it out and being ready to go.
Absolutely. Sounds like you learned the secret, because that is the secret, going from the leading edge with that A, walking it back, shaking it through. That's pretty good. Scuba Steve, is there any questions in the super chat?
Yeah, we got a couple of them. I'll start with the second one first. Do you desire to fly a trike or a quad? I mean,
yeah, I have only done foot launching, but right when I started off in the sport, trike and quad was actually like desirable because, I'm a power sports kind of guy. I like stuff with wheels. I thought the trike stuff would be really fun, but guy I trained with up here in Wisconsin kind of told me that the authentic way to do this is to start off with if you're capable, to do the foot launch. And he kind of talked me into doing foot launch. So, and he said that I can always transition into a trike later if I want to. I can take my foot launch paramotor and put it onto a trike, which was appealing to, it's almost cheaper to just start off with foot launch, and then maybe I can get a trike later if I want to, kind of thing.
There you go.
But yeah, I do think it would be easier in ways to trike launch or trike fly, and harder in ways too. So I feel like landing and stuff might be a little bit easier with a trike.
Well, the good thing is, if you don't land by your truck, you can just scoot along on your trike right back over to the truck.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, trikes are wonderful. If it's too windy, you just get in there and you tool around like it's a three-wheeler or something.
Yeah.
And then Jay just want to know what town you were in and who taught you PPG.
Yeah, I'm from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I trained with Bill Stoll up at Wisconsin Powered Paragliding, and yeah, he's a great instructor. And I kind of just have been doing my own thing for a little bit now. But yeah, that's kind of pretty much where I learned a lot of the stuff.
Cool. Yeah. Cool.
It's really cool that you have access to, like, what, 100 acres, or what'd you say? I mean, it looked like you got a lot of field over there, whether you want to do foot launch and or trike. It seems like you got a great field. During the summertime, does he grow something there? Do you have to go someplace else, or what's?
So I guess I was very fortunate. I kind of just made a post on my Facebook page, and I'm like, hey, I'm getting into this whole flying thing. Does anybody out there have access or know of any like public parks or anything like that I can fly at? And I was fortunate enough to have a guy that follows me on Facebook was just like, hey, we have all this unused wheat field that we only plant for X amount of time during the year. You can go use this if you want to. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's very nice of them. And yeah, so I pretty much I learned my first couple of flights were in like a stubble cut wheat field. And after that, they gave me access to more and more of their farmland that wasn't being used. And I found a lot of good spots through just local farmers and stuff like that. And then we also have like a couple public parks up here, and I've been flying from a couple of those too. Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather if you guys can't hear, but it's all good.
Yeah, no problem. And because you are in the weather, we said that we're going to just make this an hour tonight. So
yeah, see how it goes, whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. Make sure you guys hit that like. That definitely helps everybody. If you like what you've heard so far with Hunter, give him some thumbs up. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Any other questions in the super chat?
Yeah, well, there's a statement. Who was it who said it? I think it was Greg. He said, my first wing was an Independence Grasshopper single skin. When he moved over to the Universal, it was quite an experience. How much faster he was flying, and how much smaller his LZ appeared to get. So that was kind of what you were experiencing there with the Spider, probably, Hunter. And then he did say, if someone isn't sure if they will eventually go to a trike, do you recommend getting a unit that is trike compatible?
I think most units, like I said, you can probably put onto a trike frame, can't you?
Well, that's and that's what I would do. I mean, when I go to a trike, I want the option of having both. So it'll probably be like a retracted trike, something along those lines.
Tractor trike, the Kangook basic trike is pretty much universal. That's what I got for my Fly Products frame. So yeah, it works.
Kangook Basic has two different plates. You got the smaller plate and the larger plate. So if you need the larger plate, you can use U-bolts, and there's different things that come with it that you can put your foot launch on. So you might want to look into that. The Kangook Basic is pretty cool.
Yeah, I got the 150 cage, but it still took the smaller plate. I mean, I think the smaller plate goes up to 17.5 inches, and my frame's only like maybe 13.5, 14 inches. So I just use the standard plate. I guess if you got a giant motor or something, then you can get the bigger plate, but it's solid steel. I think when they first made them, they were aluminum, but they had problems with them cracking. So now it's a really thick piece of steel that it bolts down to. So.
All right. Was there any other questions on the panel before we continue?
Walter wants to know if you're a Ford or a Chevy man, Hunter.
I'm a Ford car with a Chevy motor kind of guy.
There you go. That works.
We always we have a running joke that says Ford can make a chassis and rear end, and Chevy can make a motor and a transmission.
There you go.
One of my personal cars is a Mustang, and it has a Chevy LS engine with twin turbos.
Nice.
I had a Chevy Impala Super Sport with the LT1 in there. That thing was crazy fast. But Hunter wants to know. Angela wants to know if the bar Cleo's is still open. She went to college in Green Bay.
Okay. Like I said, I'm kind of more from the Fox Valley area. I know places around like Appleton, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac a little bit better than I would in Green Bay. The only places I know in Green Bay are Lambeau Field, Go Packers, and but yeah, I don't really get up to Green Bay a whole lot. Like I said, I mainly stick around the Appleton, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac area.
Gotcha.
Excellent. That's all my old stomping grounds. Appleton and all my extended family are up there. And
that's really cool. I didn't know Sean was actually from this neck of the woods until tonight.
I remember snowdrifts over the house, and having to open up and dig our way out of the house. I mean, it gets really nasty snowy up there. So when I finally made myself, went down south, I really didn't want to go back up there in the snow anymore. I kind of got warm-blooded down here. I don't want to go back up there no more.
Yeah. I've been doing some flying recently in some a little bit colder temperatures, and not gonna lie, I have been thinking about trying to make a vacation possibly next month to do some flying down south. I think it would be really cool.
There you go.
If you want to, and you just want to drop down over here to Arkansas, we got a great place. Come on over. It's a great LZ. Bring a camper or just come over and stay with us if you want.
Oh yeah, thanks for that. I definitely will put that on my wish list.
Excellent. Now, also too, guys, if you didn't know, Hunter has a couple of stickers that he's going to be giving away tonight. He has his own logo and stuff. He is pretty popular on the internet, not just for Paramotor, but for a lot of things. He has over 45,000 subscribers. Make sure you go to his YouTube channel. The link's down below. Click subscribe, hit that bell notification, and watch his journey. So if you want to win these stickers, make sure you @WillFly in the super chat. Don't forget to hit some likes too, and let Will know that you are here and you want to be in the spinny wheel of winning things. I'll be going on in about 5 more minutes, so make sure you say something to Will.
I have a playlist on my channel too, titled Paramotor. So it starts off with me just kind of talking about wanting to get into the sport, and then progressing into my first little flights, a bunch of kiting practice, and I actually talked with Brad Roper. I think he's in Utah. I was just on Facebook one day and I was talking to him, and he said, "I think your next step should be motor taxi." And I'm like, just a light bulb went off in my head. And I said, that was great advice, because I was doing kiting and stuff like that, but I didn't know what my next step could have been. And that was the one thing that he said, you'll know when you're ready to fly once you start doing some motor taxi. So that was pretty good advice that I got. And it instilled some next steps for me to get into the sky. And now most of my last couple flights, I've been up for 20 to 30 minutes. So.
Okay. And you said you got about 3 hours so far of flying. How many flights is that?
So I have about 30 minutes of about 50, 20-second flights where I just kind of, went up and then came back down kind of thing. But after that, I have had probably about 6 or 7 now flights of at least 15 minutes. So I'm right around that 3 to 4 hour mark, somewhere in there. I haven't been keeping exact track, but I know that my trail tech on my motor, when I first bought it, was at 25 hours and it's at almost 30 now, which I know some of that is just me idling in the shop, playing around with it. But other than that, yeah, I think a lot of the issue with me starting to get flying around is at first I couldn't get into the seat. So I would, as soon as I would pop off of the ground, I would kind of be stuck like with my, chest out and the seat board on the back of my, it was just resting on my back. And I'm like, oh crap, how am I going to get in? And, on your first couple of flights, I was so scared and like, holy crap, this is becoming a real thing. I didn't know what steps I could have taken to get into the seat at that point. So I would just kind of fly around looking like an angel with my arms and legs wide open. And I would just fly around and then I would come back into land. And I did that for probably like 3 or 4 flights where I couldn't get into the seat. And I got so frustrated that I took some ratchet straps and I hooked them to my hoist at my shop. And I just hooked them into the lift pads on the 4-post car hoist. And I just hooked them into my carabiners and I had my buddy hit the button on the lift and he would just kind of pull me up. And I realized on the lift, it was a lot less intimidating then. Just what kind of maneuver I would have to do in order to get into the seat. And I played around with some settings on my harness. Once again, Brad Roper actually kind of gave me some ideas of trying to tighten the leg straps. That might be able to get you into the seat a little bit easier. And the first flight that I did where I tightened up my leg straps, as soon as I pulled the brakes down to pop off of the ground, I just fell right in. And I'm like, holy crap, that was like effortless. Yeah. But at the same time, when the leg straps were too tight, I couldn't get out of the seat to run it out. So now I'm still trying to find that like happy medium of the setting on the leg strap in order to be able to be comfortable running and still be able to get into the seat easily.
Interesting. So if you lift your knees, are you able to just slide in?
So now I can have the leg straps a little bit looser, and I just didn't really realize how much effort I had to put into the movement of kicking your legs up to like slide into the seat. I didn't realize how much effort it really took to kind of slide in. At least for me, being a 220-pound guy with the Parajet Maverick, maybe it's a little bit tighter of a frame compared to some others, because I've had some other local guys that have a Fly Products frame, and they say it's a lot easier to get into the seat than, the Parajet Maverick.
Yeah, I know one of the times when I took off, I don't remember if I had the leg straps too tight or too loose, but it took everything I had to get up in the seat. And I usually adjust my leg straps where I can just put a fist in between.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, is have the fist in between there is kind of a great setting to have.
And then, yeah, usually that works. As soon as I get in the air, I can just pop back in my seat. There's no strain and, trying to, and you don't want to pull your brakes real hard trying to get in.
Right.
That's bad. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks.
Right.
Yeah, you stow your brakes and then you reach
YouTube
down.
makes it look really easy.
They do, yeah.
What was it you were saying that Brad was telling you doing what'd you say, motor, what was it with the
power
motor?
Taxi.
Power taxi. He said just, go kite with the motor and use the power just to kind of feel the weight kind of come off of you. And eventually, you do that practice with the motor running, kiting. Eventually you get to a feeling, and he said, one day I think you're just going to be confident enough to take off. And sure enough, one day I grabbed a handful of power and I was off.
Okay.
But it is cool to just practice. It is, I think, good practice to just kite with the motor and then feel the power application and how much easier running gets with application of power. It's crazy how weightless it is and how like easy you are to run once you have the power on.
Trust the thrust. Once you got that power, lean back and let it just take you out.
Yep.
And all you're doing is you're just keeping balance. You're not even running.
Yeah.
You can go across the field all day long. It just doesn't do anything other than you're just keeping your balance. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people actually comment on my channel that say, or at least on my personal Facebook page, they say, it seems like the more and more you do this, the faster you're taking off. Because there was times where I would taxi for like what felt like a mile, and I'm just constantly checking my wingtips, and I'm like, is it straight and level? Is it good? Is it good? And I would constantly do this. And when you're doing this, I've learned you lose a lot of forward momentum.
Yep.
So I've been learning to kind of trust the thrust and just kind of pick a direction and stick to it. And that's one thing that I learned when kiting too, is pick a point on the horizon and just run towards it and try not to get off track too much.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it is
so
7:30, guys, already.
Once or twice and just pointing forward.
That's good. Good advice there. I'm just listening to you, Hunter, tonight. I'm learning every Monday. I learn something new about,
and that's what I love about what you guys do here on the podcast is just being able to share information for new pilots like myself. And it's very good to share this information. I feel like it's going to keep people safer and, get people into the sport.
Very refreshing, I have to say. Yes. No,
usually if you
I'm
just
learning
take
a lot.
Your wingtips, if you just look to the right or left, it usually doesn't slow you down much. But if you look up,
you really lose a lot of that forward.
You try to run looking up. Anybody.
It don't work.
You usually drift off to the side. If you look up, you usually drift off to the side instead of going forward too.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I've learned with a lot of kiting too is just having that feel without looking.
Yeah.
If you do enough kiting, you can kind of just glance a little bit and just be able to feel where the wing is without looking. I think that's a good thing that people should practice before they fly a lot, is just being able to feel where the wing is without actually seeing it. So
you can definitely feel it.
And one thing with my Spider, I notice is that thing is kind of hard to feel because of the lightweight fabric. It's not as easy to kind of tell where it is when you're kiting versus my Kona. That thing feels like a big boat above my head. That thing's really easy to tell, but at the same time, it's a little bit harder to kite compared to the Spider. I feel like the Spider pops up real easy. It stays above your head a lot easier than the Kona does, but I don't have enough experience in flight with the Spider to compare it a lot, but the two things I did notice was the Spider was easier to kite and it was way faster. And it seemed like if I was able to land easier with the Spider. I feel like the flare was more pronounced. I feel like I slowed down a lot more when I flared with the Spider compared to my Kona. Sorry to get off topic, but that's just something I thought of there.
No, the topic is paramotor. So,
there you go.
That's what we're talking about. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
It is past 7:30. So we've been doing this for 30 minutes already. That's crazy how quick time goes by. It's amazing. Will Fly, we got one more person that joined our online audio only. The name is NADN. So if you want to put them on the spinny wheel, and once you put that up, Paramom from ParamontUSA.com, Linda Anderson, will shout out everybody that's on this spinny wheel. Guys, you got about 2 seconds to say hello to Will Fly and let him know that you are here so we can spin the spinny wheel.
This is my favorite time of the night, saying hello to all my chatters. Oh, cool. I see the list. All right. I'm going to say hi to everybody. It's rock and roll. And that's a nice spinny winny wheel of winny things. We got John Wayne, Cowboy in the house. We got Kramer, my lovely Kramer, Walter Priori from Australia, and it is tomorrow already. So we know there's going to be a tomorrow. I love you, sugar. We got James Calhoun, Gary Symons, Steve Kennedy, Dewey Milstead. I love ya. 555. Joe Adele in the house. What's up, Joe? My lovely Flying Flamingo Jade. Tony Marzano, Mr. Vegas in the house. Plainfield PPG, Craig B. What's up? Lovely Angela Preslick. How are you, Miss Vegas? And we got Guardian Service Dogs. We got Chris Bodjams and Greg Laney. What's up, Greg? We got Bill H. Hello, my friend. We got Kenneth Kidwell, Travis DuPont in the house, and we got NAGN in the house tonight. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, if you ever want to just listen to the audio, not go to YouTube, you can always go to Podbean, search for PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, and listen to it live because we'll always live audio stream it while we're doing this. All right, so tonight we are going to be giving away some stickers from Hunter. Hunter, tell us a little bit about the stickers.
Yeah, so this is just my logo that I have for my YouTube channel. And yeah, I also have a website, huntertune.com. I sell a lot of parts and stuff like that. And I figured, hey, you guys can get a free sticker tonight. But yeah, I sell fuel injectors. See if I got one here. I'll show you guys. I sell like fuel injectors for cars. So these are my injectors that I sell. I sell turbochargers, wastegates, blow-off valves. Here's one of my wastegates. These are all just parts for, turbochargers and stuff like that. Yeah, like I said, I build hot rods and we try to make engines go faster than they should.
I can't wait for you to do that with your paramotor.
Yeah, I would love to do a little bit of deep dive into some maintenance on my motor when it needs it. I'm excited to start tinkering with it a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool.
All right. When
he's only got 3 or 4 hours, he's got a ways to go.
When he puts injectors and turbocharges on his paramotor, I cannot wait to watch those videos.
Yeah, there is an EFI Moster 185 now, so maybe I can get into tuning the new EFI model.
You have nitro on that thing before you know it, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Marzano has a good question. He says, how many people are watching and how many thumbs up? So we got 26 watching and 6 thumbs up.
Oh,
yeah, you guys got to hit the like button. Tony. Get that up to 26.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for checking, Tony. Appreciate you. Appreciate all my chatters on Monday nights. Much love.
Yeah, you guys should definitely like what these guys are doing here. It's awesome what they're doing for the paramotor community.
Oh, yes. Yep. I call them my para family.
Para family.
It is. Yep. Doing this for almost 4 years now with you guys. And my panel's awesome. And yeah. And every time I get a new guest on the show, or I find a new guest, it's another para friend.
Yeah.
And then then when you come on our show, it opens you up to meeting other people in the sport that share the passion of the sport like you. So that's what it's all about. That's what I love about doing the show.
Yeah, and I think a good thing too is like just trying to find knowledge from everywhere you can, because there might be one little thing that one person that you never met before tells you that could keep you safer in the sky.
What's
there
your
you go.
Channel, Hunter?
Exactly.
Your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Hunter Tuned.
Yep, Hunter Tuned. I think it's funny because on my show Friday, I was like, Linda, you need to get Hunter on the show. She's like, he's going to be.
I was already on it, babe.
I was like, go. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know he was already going to be on the show. Okay.
Oh, heck yeah. We already had that all taken care of, didn't we, Hunter? I was like,
oh, yeah.
He was already on board and the whole thing. Yes, yes.
And also any Monday that you want to just join us here, you can be part of the panel. Everybody on the panel has been a guest at one time.
Awesome. Yeah, I would love to. Like I said, I love sharing my experiences and just trying to gain as much knowledge as I can to try to stay as safe as possible doing this. I just had a little baby boy, and I want to.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
It's awesome. We'll see in May. You're going to have to come up. You're going to have to fly across the lake and come out to Torchport.
Yeah.
That's where I fly out of when I go on my tandem. So nice. I took a tandem last year, my first tandem, and then I took another one this past May, and I had a blast. And so and then you can meet Eric and Jade Lear.
Okay.
Paramotor. I always say it wrong. Northern Lights Paramotors,
There you go.
LLC.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll
And
have
you'll
to
have to
write
meet
that down.
them. They're awesome people. They're the ones that got me up in the air on my first tandem, and I can't say enough about them. So
That's awesome.
definitely, yeah. I'll send you the whole schedule thing or whatever that says when all the fly-ins are, Hunter. I'll DM it
you
to
can't
you
see
so
it
you
right
have
now.
it.
I'll wait.
Yeah, sorry if I don't respond right away too. I get a ton of messages every day and emails, and it gets, my message box gets a little cluttered sometimes. So
Sure. No problem. No problem.
Tell me
All
when,
righty, let's see
Sean.
who's gonna win.
good luck.
All right, Will, whenever you're ready,
I'm ready.
spin the spinny wheel of Winnie things.
Oh man, it's Walter Priori.
Oh wow.
Uh,
I never even saw it spin. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see
the
it
wheel
spin
really
either.
spin?
It just all of a sudden, boom. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
must be a lag. So Walter lives in Australia.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Do we have some stuff we're putting together for Walter? Or no?
No, we don't have anything for Walter. I'm still paying that off on my second mortgage second stuff a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Close that.
yeah. I don't know if Hunter normally ships to Australia with his fuel injectors and stuff.
I do, but it's definitely a surcharge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Walter says spin again, and Hunter thanks you, Walter. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna you guys talk about something. I'm gonna change the
Oh, what was that? Where'd I put it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
here's Jade's sticker.
Saying chat among yourselves, please. Yes.
The one that Paramount was just talking
I love that. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
and sometimes you're gonna find my stickers, Sean. You got them in the safe, man. I know
I got them
Yeah,
over
Sean.
here
I want to see those
someplace.
stickers.
you
Finally.
did those real good. No one's gonna find those.
Finally, I'm not over at the school, and thank goodness for some holidays. For the entire year, I've been pretty much over at the school, working on school training. I've been enjoying staying here, hanging out with the family. Yeah, it's getting colder, and anybody that wants to train can come over and train. Obviously, Kevin's coming over for this weekend, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we are training. But man, I'm really digging, kicking back and relaxing, enjoying with the
We
family.
deserve it. Yeah, that's what it's about. You got to have that family time.
Definitely.
Gosh.
Cool. All right, you ready?
Okay.
There we
But
go.
what I was saying, Will, is now that I have some time, I'll probably be able to find those stickers and send them out. They're probably with the other stickers in the other room.
Yeah, I can send you these two or I can send another pair.
I see it spin this time.
Let's see.
That's a spinny wheel.
Yeah, man, I greased it well.
Say
Good,
Greg
good, good.
Laney. Let's see if it's Greg Laney today.
Oh yeah. So
'Cause
who do we
Greg's the
think is going
coolest.
to win?
Coolest.
I don't know why, but I'm
Really?
saying Guardian Service Dogs, I think. But obviously Tony Marzano always wins too. So Bill H always wins. Who knows? Let's find out.
Yes.
No, Guardian Service Dog just went by,
Really?
so that's not right.
Bill
Unless it-
H.
Bill H.
Gonna
Unless it
be
goes-
Bill H. Or is it gonna be Travis, maybe?
Oh man,
Oh,
I might have called
is
it.
it gonna
I
be
don't know.
Travis?
It's gonna be close.
Travis is always winning. Wait a minute, Craig.
Oh,
Oh my
oh,
goodness, it's right there.
oh, it's Craig B.
I think it's gonna be Craig B. And guess where?
Or it's gonna go all the way to Bill H.
Guess where Craig B lives?
There you go.
Oh
He lives in Australia too. The only
no.
Australians.
Oh really? Oh,
That
that's
is-
funny. Seriously?
Oh man, yeah, seriously, right, Craig? You live in Australia. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Hunter is like, crap.
What have I gotten myself into?
It's only going to cost $150 per sticker.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to change the background of the spinny wheel to USA. Just saying.
USA. Yeah, I don't know where to go with that. So Craig says also Australia. So go again, guys. All right. Thank you, man. So
Awesome.
I've removed both Australians, but you're still with us, guys. You're still in our hearts. You just been removed from the wheel because you were both winners. Man, what are the odds?
That's a huge odd thing. I tell you what, you guys better go to your lottery and pick up a couple scratchers or something. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, right. All right. So I added CT Fly to the wheel. You guys ready now?
All right. You
Okay.
know what that means CT Fly is going to win.
Yeah, it was CT Fly lives in I think what is it, Zimbabwe? Was it?
Like I said, CT Fly is going to win
Antarctica.
this big spin.
That's
All
funny.
right. So who's it gonna be?
CT Fly.
Oh, CT Fly. I'm gonna go with Bill H. I'm
I'm
still
gonna say,
Bill H.
I'm gonna say,
Luis.
Can't wait till it stops, Linda. You got to pick before.
I know.
I'm saying Guardian
I'm gonna say
Service
Travis. I'm gonna say Travis.
I don't know. Maybe James Calhoun.
Wow, it is so laggy. It's like spin stop, spin stop, spin stop.
I think it's your computer.
No.
Looks like it's just hitting every single name. It's going
Yeah.
name to name. There goes
Yeah.
Guardian Service Dog. Sorry, I tried.
Oh, Tony. Man,
Or Bill.
Tony. Is it gonna be Bill H?
I don't know. They're both blue. That's weird. Can't tell where the line is.
There's a fine line between Tony Marzano and Bill
Yeah,
H.
it's gonna make it to Bill.
It'd be like
Wow.
a tie.
That's
That would
No,
be a
it's gonna be
tie.
Bill. It's gonna be Bill. I
Bill H.
won. Congratulations, Bill H, who lives in
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right.
Now, good thing about Bill H, anytime that he does get stickers, he puts it on something so everybody can see all the stickers that he's ever got.
We love our stickers. I got them all over my my laptop. So I don't even have room for any now, unless I get another laptop.
Okay, so that means we have one more spin, right?
One more spin. And also too, Hunter, tell us about how do we get to your website and can they contact you through the website for the stickers?
Yeah, you can email me at huntertuned@gmail.com, or honestly, you could probably just text my phone number too. That's 920-410-2144. And then just text me your address and I can get them mailed out to you. But yeah, otherwise my website is huntertuned.com.
Huntertuned.com. That's a cool name, man.
Thank you.
All right, here we go.
Shuffle, 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 then do, 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 do. All right.
I'm gonna go for Travis.
I'm gonna see Kramer this time.
I've been saying Guardian Service Dog for all this time, so hopefully it's going to work, but probably not. So CT Fly, James Calhoun, Flying Flamingo Jade. Come on.
Doesn't
Maybe
seem like it's going all the way around.
I know it's kind of jumpy, but it's pretty neat the way it jumps.
You just have to trust me.
Oh, just leave it on Travis.
Trust the thrust.
Travis.
On to Jade. Nope, it's gonna keep going.
Is it
I'm-
Jay?
It looks like it might be Jim.
James Calhoun.
James Calhoun, maybe?
Oh,
Jim, I think that you won some stickers, buddy.
it's James.
James.
Yay. I like when you have the little what did you last week? Remember you had the like sound like a cowboy or whatever? Remember
Oh
you had-
yeah, this is a different wheel.
Oh, I see.
Time to set it up. Well, that's it. So James Calhoun and Bill H, right? And huntertune.com is the website. And what was the email again, Hunter?
huntertuned@gmail.com. Or you can get a hold of me on Facebook. I got a lot of social media out there that I'm sure you can find me somewhere.
Yeah, unlike a
Very
lot
cool.
of YouTubers, Hunter will answer you if you type in his comments.
Yeah.
So I'm taking my glasses off, so you know what that means while I'm thinking of it.
I think that means we're gonna do a heart.
Thumbnail.
Come on, heart.
I
Come
thought
on, heart.
I'm not sure which trike
1,
fits
2, 3.
the Parajet. I think it is the retractor trike.
You ready, Steve?
Oh, ready. Hey,
He's talking to himself.
1, 2, 3. I got the heart, Sean. I'm sure
Yay. I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
it did. I got them. Yep.
Good deal. Perfect. And that's the only time it seemed that it worked. So I don't know.
Awesome.
are you
Thanks,
doing
Will.
anything special for the 200th episode? Wow.
200
yeah.
episode is next week, actually,
Yes.
on the 18th.
Yes.
We are doing something special.
I'm gonna try and round up bunch of alumni. I'll DM a bunch of people
There you
for
go.
next week and tell them, and maybe you can put something together like a thumbnail in, like on Facebook, Sean, and just say, make a big deal of it. Our 200 show, come on, join us, something like that.
We can hold 100 people on here. So I would really like to see if we can get 100 people back here, at least log in just for the thumbnail if they don't want to stay, but just come in for, the first part of the podcast for our 200 episode. That would be really neat. I mean, 100? How cool would that be?
Yeah.
So-
I think next week, I'm gonna wear like a Santa hat or something because the following week is Christmas. So if you guys want to kind of, do like we did last year, we'll celebrate that, the 200, and then you guys can, wear Santa hats or whatever. I'm going to see if I can find like a Christmas background thingy, whatever,
Yeah.
So we'll make it fun.
Tony, I don't hunt. I was a hunter, but I don't really do a whole lot of hunting anymore.
I must have missed that question.
No, that's all right.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
we're talking our 200th show. Yes.
That's all good.
I saw
And then-
that, but I was like, yeah, I'm not asking him that. Does Hunter?
Right. It's like a running joke that a lot of people ask me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
You
You
cool.
need help with setting up the Zoom. Bill, I can help you if you need be. It's not hard. You can use your phone if you want to. If you don't have a computer with a mic and a camera, then you can use your phone if you would like. You can get the Zoom app for free, either on Google Play or iOS, and you can.
I
join
didn't think it was this easy to hook in with my laptop too.
Oh yeah, real easy.
Yeah, all you need is a free Zoom account, and then all you have to do is click the link, and you are here on the show. So every year we have the same link for all of our shows. So if you've been to any of the shows and you got the link saved, all you have to do is come back or just go back to the guest chat. And if you have been a guest, you're still in the guest chat. Just log in, and like I said, 100 people, how cool would that be? I would really like to see that, actually.
Yeah. Very cool thumbnail. That came out really nice. Because I have my new background, and I was wondering, and I can actually, when I look in the picture, I can see me behind.
It sounds cool in theory, but I had 50 something on a Zoom call one time. It's chaotic.
You had how many?
50 something.
50 something. I'm just saying, jump on for that first 5 minutes, do a thumbnail, and just for the thumbnail thing.
You could mute everybody, and then when they want to talk, they can raise their hand or unmute, because otherwise you got 50 people and they're all got their mics going. It's nuts.
Yeah. Well, we got that hand thing. So if you put
Yeah.
your hand up, it actually pops up showing that you got a. Yep. So
What are you talking about
Uh,
next week?
The thumb one works for me,
Yeah,
but I
pop
can't
up.
do the hearts for
there
some
I am. I
reason.
got my.
There's the thumb.
That's
Yeah.
We're gonna do the Macarena or the chicken dance here? I'm not sure. I'm kind of confused. Hey,
Yeah, then
Macarena.
you do the thumbs up, then it shows
Yeah,
the
the
thumbs up
thumbs work.
thing.
I just can't do the heart. I don't. He's got the hand and the thumb.
It doesn't work for me.
What? Put your
You
hand
know-
up. Here,
Who does that?
do that
Yeah,
right there.
Big
Show it
old
like
scary
that.
hand.
Show it like that. Off to the side. There you go. Now hold it right there for a second.
Do you
That's
see
the
a thing
it.
doing a little timer in a circle on your screen? No.
It doesn't.
Yeah, you have it turned off. That's why.
Sure.
Ah,
I don't even know where to turn it on, let alone turn it off.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Sorry.
Click on more, and then it says recognize hand gestures. Make sure there's a check next to that.
I didn't even see that option on my, and I go into settings, right?
On the
I
no,
look
on the
at
bottom of the Zoom, you'll see where it says mute, stop video. All the way to the right, it says more. Click
Right,
on
okay,
more,
I'm gonna click it on right now.
and then
Play chime for raised hands.
It says download for me.
right below play chime for raised hand, it should say recognize hand gestures.
Nope, one
does
says,
not?
this says reactions.
No, it
Nope,
should say recognize
captions.
hand gestures. If you don't have that, then you
Yeah,
probably
reactions. That's it. Reactions.
Yeah, reactions.
Click on the little
It's
triangle,
reactions?
parrot triangle. Up, you
It's,
see
it's
the little
under
arrow?
reactions, but yeah.
Oh, raised hand, okay, let me see.
Recognize hand gestures.
There he goes.
Oh, look, you got
Ah,
it.
okay.
This is the hard one, though.
Yeah, the heart one.
Yeah, now
sounds-
try to do the heart, Linda.
Yeah, do the heart. There we go. See, there's the hearts.
Oh, how did she make the heart work? I see the heart already showing. Oh, she just clicked on it. That's not
Well, I
Yeah.
just clicked at the,
No,
what
that's
says, looks like you're done with the heart or something. Okay,
That's
this is
awesome.
so funny. Well, now I can, yeah, now I'm gonna I'll be playing with this
Right?
reactions. And then if you like, you're all happy and everything, then you hit this one. Where's it here?
Oh,
Where's
I
the
can't click on
the
any of
party
these. I don't
one?
know how you're clicking on them. I can't. I have
We
no
just
choice.
have way too much fun on here. It looks like we got 20 likes. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yes,
If you really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
this, please hit that thumbs up. That really helps our metrics. And of course, our guest goes, "Aw, thank you. I guess you all like me."
yes.
we did. I think we missed. I don't know if we got it or not. But what altitudes did we ask that question? What altitudes?
Oh no, we didn't ask that yet.
What altitudes do you fly at? That's, you probably don't go very high, I guess. So
Dweez
Me?
Milstead asked that question. Yeah,
yes.
for Hunter. Hunter, Dweez Milstead said, "What altitudes are you flying at?"
Well, when I first started, I was just doing those little hops at like maybe 50 feet or 75 feet. But recently, now that I've been flying around a little bit more, I'm between like 200 and 400 feet for the most part. The highest I've gone so far is 470.
Cool. Do you use Gaggle or anything like that as far as flying?
I have Gaggle downloaded on my phone, but I don't really know how to use it, honestly.
Okay.
I just have like some other altimeter app that I threw in my pocket. And also I just picked up an Insta360 camera, which I think actually
Nice.
has that stuff built in and you can like overlay it with video. So I might be trying to do that on an upcoming video.
Ooh, nice.
So
Yeah,
you can
Gaggle's really
see my
nice.
hand when I'm flying.
Gaggle's really nice because it has a whole community. You can see where other people are flying in your area.
I feel like a lot of the stuff on my Gaggle, at least, everybody's private. At least like I don't see a whole lot of public stuff. I feel like a lot of the groups. The one thing I'm seeming to not like about paramotoring, at least around these areas, is it seems like it's very cliquey. Like you have your group over here and then you have your group over here. That's what it seems like, at least.
Very clicky, huh?
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to join Paramotor Arkansas, let me give you the QR code. So just
That on Gaggle?
yeah, that's Gaggle. So you can go here, use your Gaggle, hit the QR code, and anytime that we fly, you'll be able to see. So if you open up your Gaggle, well, actually not opening your Gaggle, just open up your camera and see if this works.
See if it works.
All
Oh,
right.
it disappeared. Oh, there it
Hold
is.
on. Hold
It
on,
works.
Be still. Now
Yep,
it's
it
opening my
works.
Gaggle.
Yeah, I got it. Works.
Paramotor Arkansas. All right.
Arkansas. So you can actually make your own QR codes for wherever you want to. You can invite, you can share, and that way, and you can still make your stuff private so people won't see you fly if you don't want. But it's always nice to make something like this. So if you have people that are worried about you, your friends and family, You know, if they have the gaggle, even if they don't use the gaggle to go fly, they can, watch you fly and know when you fly, and that way they can keep up with you. So if you want to see people around Paramotor, Arkansas fly, if you want to be part of the group, obviously use your camera and use your QR code, be part of Paramotor, Arkansas, and be part of the group.
Was you on a racetrack that day, Sean? I mean, I'm just looking at that flight and looking at you do a racetrack maneuver there.
That may have been, so a lot of things that I do too to show people, to show the students, is I go up and then I do like 360s, or I do, whip stalls or something like that. So people can, so you can see on the ground how much altitude you lose when you do a 360 turn, or when you stall your wing, because I stall my wing and then I do a big surge to show them the big surge. I go around and I pull big ears, et cetera, et cetera. That way you can kind of see on the ground what it looks like. Don't do it when you're flying, but yeah.
Gary from SpongeBob. Okay.
That's
I don't know. One of Butch's flights, though, I'm questioning this one because it says he went 300 and something feet. I mean, that's just a straight line or a curved line.
That's probably him on the 9-bot. I got another one for you guys. If you want to be part of the Paramotor Club, we also have the Paramotor Club on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. So let me give you the Paramotor Club. So if you do have gaggle, go ahead and grab your phone, use your camera, scan this QR code, and that goes to our Paramotor Club that we're going to be doing for this next year. So actually,
Paramotor Club.
Yeah, this is gonna be the Paramotor Club. We got Facebook. We're gonna do a whole website. So if you wanna check it out, be part of the Paramotor Club.
Would you mind doing the Arkansas one again,
Sure.
please?
Gets all.
Oops. Come on. Come on. There you go. What the hell? Come on.
You gotta be quick.
I know, right? What's going on here?
I
There
got
it
it.
is.
There we go. All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So I really do really love Gaggle. So I bought the whole version for Gaggle. I think it's amazing what they're doing. You can see airplanes and other traffic when you're flying. You can see other pilots when they're flying. It has saved me a couple of times because I'd be flying at a certain altitude and it would tell me, hey, you got a helicopter, you got a jet, you got an airplane on your 5 o'clock at whatever altitude. I'm like, oh, I better get down. As soon as I get down, 5 minutes later, right where I was.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually, with the little amount of flights that I have, I've already been up there with a jet that was off in the distance.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that around here because we got F-22s, F-35s.
They go a wee bit more faster than
They,
us.
well, if I could hear them with my headphones on because they are loud.
Wow.
Be fine.
You've been fine.
No big deal.
It shakes the whole house every time, and they fly almost every day. It's crazy.
Crazy, crazy. All right. Once again, Hunter, he has been our guest today. Hunter Tuned. He has his own website, huntertuned.com. Tell us more about more about your website, your .com, what you do, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I just kind of I got into tuning cars, and we have a racetrack up here called Wisconsin International Raceway, and it's a track local to me. And I pretty much, as soon as I started going there, I started getting into modifying cars and stuff like that. And I've been doing that for like the last 10 years or so. I have a chassis dyno, and we dyno tune vehicles. So that's, if you guys don't know what a chassis dyno is, it's pretty much where you put the car on a treadmill. It's like a treadmill for a car, and the car drives on it, and you can do a bunch of testing and figure out, what parts work on what engines and stuff like that, and kind of dial in setups before you go to the racetrack, so you're not going to the racetrack with something that doesn't work. It's kind of a good testing tool that we use. So that's what I do, and then I sell parts that accommodate the stuff that we do on the dyno, really. So turbochargers and injectors and pretty much anything related to that kind of stuff. Like I said, I've been doing that for the last 10, 15 years. I've been doing that. And it's, like I said, it's kind of become more of a job for me than a hobby. And I recently found the whole PPG thing, which has become my new obsession and my new kind of escape from cars.
Well, excellent. Glad that you joined us tonight.
Yeah.
Like I said, you are more than welcome to hang with us and be part of the panel anytime that you want to. Every Monday night at 7 p.m. Obviously, we jump in a little bit beforehand so we can talk a little bit. But any other questions in the super chat or from the panel before we say goodbye?
Not that I remember. Well, Jade asked, does Hunter go to EAA? I'm not even sure what EAA is.
It's like a big air show. I think it's one of the biggest ones. It's like right down the street from my house, actually. Whitman Regional Airport or whatever. It's just a big air show where I think there is some PPG guys that go to it. I think like Aviator has a booth there, and I think Kyle O was there last year, just kind of stopped in or whatever. I have gone to EAA, but I typically go for like the airplane night shows and stuff. I'll probably definitely go next year, now being a PPG pilot. See what's out there,
There you go. Yeah, you got to get out to those fly-ins, and start getting out, get yourself out there and start, meeting more people, and all that stuff. And oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
That's who I trained with, was Kylo.
Okay. Yeah. He's actually reached out and done some over messaging advice too for me. So he's
cool.
Pretty much appreciate. Cool. I love his videos. For anybody looking to get a little bit more knowledge, he's a great resource.
That is so Kyle O right there.
Yeah.
I mean, he pays attention. He might not comment a lot on things, but when he comments, it's like zing. That's exactly, it's just like perfect.
One piece of advice that he gave me too is like, you just got to be a steely-eyed pilot. Just be confident in what you're doing, and I think that's a really good piece of advice too.
Yeah,
because I was always a little gun shy of getting in the sky initially, but yeah.
You're going to do great things, Hunter. I just know it.
Yeah, pretty soon we'll see some 360 video, and Hunter's going to be like 1,500 feet.
Right. That's one thing that I'm still kind of a little bit, I'm trying to get myself over, is I feel like once I hit around 500 feet or so, I almost get like vertigo, or like I almost feel like a little dizzy when I'm up there, just because it's like a whole new world,
It is. It definitely is.
Sure.
So I don't know if it's like a little bit of like just kind of scared, or like what kind of feeling it is, or if you guys have experienced that before, where if you get to a certain altitude and you get just a little bit woozy.
Actually, I looked down and it looks like Google satellite view to me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's only going to happen a couple times, and then I'll get over it, because
that's right.
I've already proven that to myself with starting to fly. The more I'm doing it, the more comfortable I'm getting every time.
Yeah, you'll have the same experience once you get comfortable flying at 1,000, 1,500 feet.
Yeah,
when you go 5,000 feet, you'll have the exact same feeling probably, because your brain doesn't have
until you get back to that like comfort level, like, oh, I've been here before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Normal stuff.
Yeah.
Jade says they'll be at the USPPA booth at the EAA thing if you do come. So go check them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you came on the show.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I can't wait to see you. I love watching your progression, because you're like moving quick. quicker than
Yeah,
I thought.
I'm trying not to get ahead of myself at the same time though, because I've already kind of made some mistakes that I kind of want to make some videos on, like you were talking earlier, Steve, of showing my successes and my failures, because
Yeah.
I've had a few instances where I love this sport so much, right? That I want to get out and fly every possible opportunity that I get. And when the weather is forecasted to be one thing, but you get out to the field and it's something else, should you be flying or should you not be, kind of thing. And I've gone up now in some funky air, and it's definitely a little bit spooky, and just kind of rushing through things. I'm trying to not get ahead of myself with the excitement factor, just trying to be diligent on doing good pre-flights and stuff like that. There was actually an instance where I think it was like 2 weeks ago now, where I was kiting and I was like, maybe I'll go up and fly, maybe I won't or whatever. And I would kind of neglected a little bit of my pre-flight. My brake line on the left-hand side was actually around the D. It wasn't clear to pulley. It wasn't a big issue, but it was definitely something where I'm like, I'm never going to do that again. Always make sure to do your pre-flight as thorough as possible.
Totally understood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can
Did Steve freeze?
I think you did.
He might be thinking about his next word.
Might be.
Do we
Are you
lose
back, Steve?
What? Did y'all lose me?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
All right, there you
Oh,
are.
my bad. I was saying you be the judge. You know, if you go out there and maybe the app's telling you that it's good flying weather, but it's you don't have a good feeling about it, there's no shame in saying, you know what, I'm not gonna fly today.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to risk it, man. There's always gonna be a better day.
Yeah. No, like I said, just trying to get ahead of myself. And I'm actually partially thankful that I have flown in some of the little bit more dynamic air just to get my tolerance a little bit higher. It's not, I don't personally think I'm flying in unsafe conditions, but it's definitely a little bit startling for a beginner like myself to fly in, you know, a little bit early in the day or a little bit windier conditions. It's crazy how when you turn downwind, it's like you're on a racetrack, and then you turn into the wind, just sitting there, you're parked. You know? It's just a crazy feeling getting up there and flying these things, man. It's like I said, it's been life-changing for me, and I can't wait to share more with everybody too.
Cool.
Can't wait.
There you go. It is life-changing.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, changed my life just going on that first tandem. And and I always tell people, you know, it's different for everybody. You know, when you first get in the air, I don't care if you're doing a tandem or if you're flying your own trike or, you know, your free flight or whatever. Everybody has a different feeling when they go up there, and you can't help it. It's just like, gosh, it's overwhelming, but it's so exciting, you know, and when you land, you're just like, when I did my first one, when I landed, I was laughing, I was crying, and I was just like, so many emotions, you know. I was so proud of myself that that's really stepping out of your comfort zone. And I just did a tandem, you know. So
that's part of the reason I got into the sport too, is I've been scared of heights and I wanted to push myself into that. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, you know what I mean? Like it's not something you would think you would want to do, but sometimes facing those fears is like the most rewarding thing you can do.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, now I know you've felt the rush when you know you're going with the wind, you go really fast. Have you got to a point to where there was enough wind where you either didn't go forward or went backwards?
So I flew the other night, and I actually got it. I might be putting a video up of that flight, and it was like almost nothing on the ground, like 2 miles an hour. But if I flew over the windsock at like 200 feet, I swear I was like parked. And as soon as I would start to come down, I would start going forward the closer I got to the ground. But yeah, sometimes flying in those kind of conditions are definitely scary. I think the biggest part for me that's the most scary is like when you're crosswind and when you're turning back into the wind. I always feel like the right side of the wing, if I'm turning right or whatever, that side's just going to like fold in if the wind is like strong enough. But you know, those are just like dumb fears of mine, I guess, that I have.
No, it's
Oh,
understandable. It's
Yeah.
understandable. I mean, I
'Cause I
won't
feel like, isn't that how you'll get like a wingtip collapse or whatever? If the wind is coming at that one side of the wing hard enough, it could push it in. Is that how that works? Or
I don't think I mean with you a wing loaded, it takes a lot to tip a wingtip in.
okay.
So I mean, if you're just doing a light turn, or something like that, I don't think that you'd have to really worry about anything. Are you checking your winds aloft before you go up?
Yes, I am. And it was forecasted to be that way, but I was like, man, the whole rest of the night leading up to that was like totally calm. It was way smoother than forecasted. So I stayed up. And like as I stayed up towards sunset, I could notice that it was getting stronger as I stayed up. And I'm like, I should probably get down. And I did.
It's really fun when you go up and you start flying backwards.
Yeah. I haven't experienced that yet. I think the strongest conditions I've flown in are probably like a 10-mile-an-hour wind. A
That's
lot.
pretty strong.
Nothing like that on the surface. It'd be like
okay, yeah.
like a 2 on the surface or a 5 on the surface and 10 aloft.
So
So those aren't bad winds then. I was
No.
thinking you were really pushing the
No, and I don't think I'll fly. Like if the forecast says anything over 10, usually I'm like, I'll wait for another day.
So you haven't done any reverse launches then?
I did actually do 2 of them. Where I've done 2 reverse launches now where I took off and flew starting off reverse.
Cool.
Which is fun. It's really fun. It's a lot easier because you can almost kite the wing and do your pre-flight while you're on the ground still before you take off.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like higher winds myself.
Oh yeah, that's
wanted to
Yeah, and
say
it's like 2 steps and you're off.
I love reverse, man. Whenever I can get it, I'm gonna do reverse.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of almost prefer forward currently just because I have more experience with forward. But I'm sure eventually I would love to go fly at the beach one day where the winds are nice and laminar and
Beach is amazing.
Yeah, I feel like that's the spot where you need to learn reverse instead of inland where you get all the rotor and stuff off the trees.
Yeah,
it's
so
a little bit more risky, I think.
I wanted to say something that Steve, you mentioned that don't to be tempted to, what was it you said? Don't be tempted to fly when conditions were, can't remember exactly what you said.
I was saying, the app may say one thing, but if you go out there and you don't have a feeling, say you're not feeling it, then don't do it.
That's it.
Physical. Your mind needs to be in the right. You need to be in the right state of mind to fly also.
And that's another thing too that I've learned a lot from
the flip side to that is what I was getting at. And you'll be tempted to do this, to like go out and you're like, I know what the forecast calls for this and this. And then you look at things and you're like, I got this. I can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think there's one paramotor pilot that's flown that hasn't, for a while, that hasn't gotten themselves in a situation where it's like, dang, man, I wish I would have stayed on the ground. I knew better,
Yeah, but that's like I think you almost kind of need to do stuff like that to really have it stick and have you learn.
You
At
don't.
least for me.
You don't have to do that.
You don't have to, but for something like me, it's like, that's really a good learning thing for myself.
It is, but
it's risky.
Things can go wrong, right? So, and it's an elective.
Yeah. It's risky biscuits. Oh no.
Risky biscuit.
He's got on a Tucker shirt. I got a freaking hoodie back here that's Tucker's too. Yeah.
I think everybody has some of his merch. I would assume.
I was trying to win a free paramotor. I mean, why not order some stuff?
That Mac flies look really nice, but I feel like they're more suited for like the acro type of pilots, aren't they?
I flew a Mac fly when I trained with Kyle, and I really like the way that just the comfort of that thing, even though it has the weird swing arms on it. It's just it was real comfortable. Was it
easy to get into the seat?
Oh yeah, easy.
Because I was watching one of Judson's videos maybe, or somebody, and they were talking about how the Mac fly was a little bit, you had to kick into the seat a little bit more. Maybe it was just his specific one or something.
He weighs like 90 pounds. He don't even count.
Right.
I've never had trouble getting in my seat like that though. So I'm wondering if it's not an adjustment issue on the harness. It's kind of sounding like that to me.
That's what it's sounding like, because as soon as I take off, I slide right into my seat without any problem.
Just simply lifting your knees. you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
that whole
the-
hang check that Hunter was doing, that's the best way. I mean, you can sit
Absolutely.
there and practice getting in your seat while you're on the ground, not flying.
Exactly.
And you know what it's going to be like, you know.
Yeah, and now as soon as I get up,
how are your shoulder straps, Hunter?
what was that?
How tight are your shoulder straps? Are they real loose?
I want to say that my shoulder straps are, if you know where the buckles are, like the at the bottom of like the padding, I want to say that that is like almost right here on me.
Yeah, that would mean that they would be loose.
Okay.
Well, I'm not saying too loose. I'm saying I think that means that they would be looser, which
Mhm.
means the motor would be coming up higher, which means your seat would be up higher.
Okay.
You would almost have to kind of jump into the seat.
hmm
I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating.
Well, I think I'm at a point now where I can kick myself into the seat pretty easily. At least I can get, I want to say I can get like 2/3 or 3/4 of the way into the seat on my own with just knee kicking. And then once I'm flying and I can stow my brakes, then I can really get into the seat all the way. And I pull those little comfort tabs where the
Those are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so awesome. It's
That's
like comfier than my couch.
a
Yes.
double-edged sword, because if you pull the shoulder straps up tight, the motor feels better on your back because it's up higher. But then
But I feel like your
harder
thrust angle is more forward then, isn't it?
Yeah,
have
and
to
then,
lean
well, it's
back.
harder to get in your seat too, because your seat board goes up higher on your back. Then you can't get into it.
So maybe
So-
having them looser is okay.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's the other way around, Steve. I mean, because the motor that's being pulled up by the wing.
I guess it really depends on how tall you are. If I bring my shoulder straps way up really tight, then my seat board goes up a little past my rear end, so I have to kind of hop up into my seat. I only have to loosen them maybe that far, and then I'm good.
Yeah,
I
no, I'm
just
not
need
talking about
to-
making them too tight. One of them.
Oh, okay.
We also need to ask, what size harness do you have?
It's a large, extra large.
Yeah.
The Parajet. Well, it's right here. I think it's
Parajets do that comfort seat anyway, isn't it?
yeah, it's an L XL.
Yeah.
And I just mounted my reserve a couple flights ago too. So having the reserve on the side, getting into the seat's a little bit more difficult with that thing in the way too.
Hmm.
But no, like I said, I've been able to get into the seat a little bit easier now. And another thing too that is really helpful with just like getting comfortable up in the sky too is like being able to get up there at a high enough altitude where I can stow my brakes, take a breath, and just like kick back for a second to kind of, let it all go.
There's nowhere to go but up now, Hunter.
Right.
Man.
And it's funny, like I was so scared of heights, and now every flight that I go on, I'm like looking forward to going higher than I did the last time.
It's so weird because Sean's scared of heights. I'm technically I can't even watch videos where people are up on skyscrapers. It
Yeah,
makes my
no
hands
way.
sweat.
Yep, me too.
But if I get on a paramotor, I just feel so comfortable. It doesn't bother me. So
And another thing too that I think has helped a lot of my flying anxiety is being able to trust the equipment, and just being able to trust that this thing's not going to just drop out of the sky randomly. I went on a tandem flight with instructor local here, and that's one thing that I was just terrified of the whole time I was on the tandem flight. Is I was just like, man, we're up here with a trash bag above our heads. Is this thing really holding us right now? Or just those carabiners can hold all that weight. It's just amazing to think that it can.
yeah.
Not to mention the little strings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
I get that all the time. I can't believe you go out there and do it with just a piece of fabric holding you up in the air.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty strong, and those lines aren't just little pieces of line. They're pretty strong.
Right.
Kevlar.
Yeah.
Extremely strong.
Dyneema or something.
They have Dyneema.
I've had a couple
with-
of bags on my lines when I've taken off in that little wheat field initially when I first started off, and I've been pretty hard on my wing just in my progression of learning where the condition, it wasn't a very nice manicured grass field like I should have been in. It was a little bit of stubble and stuff like that. where I've had a couple snags on those lines, and I'm like, they would almost pull me back, and I'm like, oh crap, did I break a line? And they don't even flinch. Those lines are pretty strong.
You can rip the wing pretty easy though. If you
Yeah, I patched a hole already.
Oh, okay. So okay,
Yep.
just making sure you know.
Yep. Yep.
The lines are a little stronger than the wing. You can poke a hole in that wing pretty easy. Or a
Yeah.
grasshopper. If you pack your wing up and leave a grasshopper or a moth in there, they'll eat a hole in it. Yeah, they love eating that stuff.
Do you kite your wing upside down at all to try to get them out, or what's the best way to get that stuff out of there? Do you just reach down in there?
Upside down kiting and shake it for sure. Yeah.
I'm not very good at doing the upside down kiting. Do you have any tips?
Yeah. So when you do your regular hand kiting,
Yeah.
you have your hand on the A's and one's on the brake, right?
Yeah.
So you turn over your wing, and now your brakes are your A's, and your A's are your brakes. So, and you need a little bit of a wind to do that. But once you do that, yeah, you can kind of kite it up just a little bit and shake it.
Okay. And that's usually a pretty good method to clean out the pockets.
Usually your buttholes will be able to get all the, I see you laughing at that one. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know, on paramotors, the trailing edge at the tips, they have either Velcro where you can let debris out. That's called a butthole, right? And then the newer versions
on the tips where the wing tips are,
the wing tips down on the trailing edge, there should be little Velcro things that you can open up, and that where you can let all the debris out.
I did not know that.
The new ones, they actually have butthole 2.0, and the 2.0 are the little holes that are along your trailing edge that allow debris to come out as you're flying.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
can you fly with those open to clean them out?
Some of them you can actually fly with them open, like the Roadster 3. I know you can open up the Velcro, and then the thing comes through, which allows you to fly on the beach, and all that debris comes out the buttholes.
Okay. I gotta show y'all this. I've probably shown y'all before, but I know Hunter hasn't seen this. My buddy came into land a couple months ago, and I saw this dark shadow in his wing when he came into land. And I was like, dude, what the hell is in your wing? Oh, nothing. So we turned it upside down. This was in his wing.
I've seen
a meteorite.
I've seen rocks.
This is a volcanic rock. It's very light, don't get me wrong, but this is huge to be in a wing. Wow. I was like, dude, that was in your wing. And he was going to throw, I was like, no, I'm keeping that, dude. That thing's
souvenir.
Right?
I thought you were showing me your kidney stone or something.
No, my wife uses this to scrub her feet now. So, you know.
I know.
Good lava stone.
Yeah, so that's a good. Thanks for the tip there. I'll try to see if mine's got Velcro and if I can clean it out, because there's been times where I'll have it laid out in my shop just to kind of inspect the fabric, which I do. Like, I try to do it honestly like once every couple of weeks just to make sure if there's no like any other holes that I developed. I got to pick up some of that ripstop tape. That's a good, I've heard of guys, patching really, really small holes with. If they use that.
Oh, you bought the wing used, so you didn't get like free ripstop with your wing.
No, I did, but it's only white.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. So like, I know I have a few really, really small pinholes that are on the red part of my wing. So I didn't really want it to, Spider 3 butthole.
Yeah.
That's what they're called, is a butthole. I mean, that's what they're called.
Yep. So it does say that there is you have one that has the Velcro.
On the Spider, do I have one on the Kona 2?
All you have to do is search for it.
I'll have to look.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
he's flying the Kona now.
Yeah. I think it's I don't know if you guys probably recommend it too. I feel like the Kona 27 meters probably the wing I should get comfortable with first anyways, which is what I have been doing compared to my Spider 26.
Well, I'm about, I was 220. Now I'm probably in the 240ish range, but my wing is a 27.
Okay.
So it's the same size. I mean, but I got a BGD Magic, which is a Class A wing. So it's like beginner wing. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the Magic though.
It's a good wing. I don't think it flares probably as good as, especially the Spider. It probably
That's what, like I said, that's the one flight I did take with my Spider. That's one thing that was predominantly way better is the flare on landing. I felt like I could just pretty much just gracefully come down versus my Kona. I feel like I don't have as much power on the flare.
Right.
But I feel like that's maybe a characteristic of a slower glider. Maybe they don't have as much flare authority compared to like a more spicier wing, like a Spider. I don't know if that's correct or not.
He's usually your friend, unless you have wind coming at you. That'll slow you down as you flare. But if there's zero wind and you got one of them big floaty gliders, it doesn't seem to flare too well unless I'll let my trims out
all the way out,
gain some speed.
Yeah.
So that I can flare. Because if I don't, I'll come in like a rock, just plop. It hurts.
And I've already taken a couple knees. I hit the frame on one of my landings. I haven't broken a prop. Knock on wood. I'm waiting for that. You got to knock a prop. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody knocks a prop
at some point.
Yeah. It's like, with a car, it's not if you're going to have a flat tire, it's when.
Yeah.
So always have a spare.
Yeah.
I slipped in wet grass and broke a prop. So
I slipped in wet grass as well, and I hit the frame. I didn't hit the prop, thankfully. Yeah. But that's like another thing too, is like running in wet grass, you wouldn't think it's that big of a deal until you have to land in it.
Yeah. Well, that's where you slide in.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. What a landing. Yeah.
I'm going to have to put on some football cleats or something.
Oh, no. You want to slide in.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. When it's wet grass, slide in. You're doing a foot drag all the way to a landing. So once you start getting into the foot dragging thing, foot dragging to a landing is the easiest landing that you'll ever do. You're just foot dragging, and then you just pull, and you flare, and you just walk it out.
So do you start once your feet touch the ground, is that when you start to just keep pulling to maintain where your feet are?
Are you talking about what, like a foot drag?
Like a foot drag kind of landing. Like what's the best way to come in? Like, do you start your flare once your feet start dragging?
I would work on,
because I have a bad tendency of, once my feet like get even close to the ground, I pull too much and then I pop up and then I come slamming down.
Okay. Just go a little bit slower when you're coming, when you're flaring. So it isn't just from here and then flare. It's a nice slow braking. It's like when you're braking in a car, you
just keep slowly pulling down.
Just slow pull down, and that way you can keep that altitude as you're coming in, and you can just pretty much just walk out.
Yeah.
I would do a lot of, I'd work with touch and goes.
Yeah.
Once you're able to do touch and goes, then you're able to do a lot more. But
I tell myself every time I go flying, I'm like, I'm going to do some touch and goes today. I'm going to do touch and goes. And then as soon as I get up in the air, I'm like, man, I really don't want to land.
So when you land, this is something that you got to think about, is try to, when you land, think, I'm going to do a touch and go. However, instead of doing the touch and go, just touch and land. That'll be the softest landing that you'll ever do, is a touch and go, but you don't go.
Okay. Yeah. And that's the one thing that I have been telling myself this more, and I've stuck most of my landings since I've been telling myself this. But like you say, when you just kind of got to slide in or whatever with the foot drag, I have that mentality a lot, and then I don't run at all. And then I end up like taking a knee or something like that. So I've been telling myself before I land, like I psych myself up and I'm like, run it out, run it out, run it out. Don't forget to run. And as soon as I get I'll even just like pedal my feet like this while I'm still in the sky. And as long as my feet are moving just a little bit, I haven't, botched a landing. But as soon as, if I come in with my feet just like stationary like that, I almost forget to run.
I'm only saying that when you have wet grass, because wet grass, you'll probably fall if you try to run it out. If you have wet grass and you come in, you probably need to do a little bit of a slide, which is kind of like coming in and slowly pulling your brakes so you nice and gently, and you just slide that last couple of feet instead of trying to stick it and try to run. If you do that, you might, fall backwards or forward. So,
I slowly pull my brakes and my cage is going into the ground. I'm just telling you now. Oh,
well,
yeah, I guess I didn't get that down enough.
well, it's different with each wing, right? So it depends on which, how much wind that you have, where your trim setting is, your wing itself, right? So you have a big A wing that's going to be a lot different than a B wing or a C wing, like I fly. When I fly a C wing, I'm coming a lot hotter, but when I come in, but I can keep that altitude as I'm slowly pulling down, right as my feet are just dragging. So I come in, I'm doing a little bit of drag, and then right where I'm all the way down, I just walk it out. I'm that slow then.
Yeah, my
So
Kona,
it just takes time.
the trimmers are like as long as my finger, and my spider, they're like a foot. They're like a foot.
Yeah.
Now be careful with
so-
that spider, right? So the spider, if you go past neutral, you can't pull brake,
Okay.
right?
I've
So
been the only time I did fly it, I had it in the middle. Like I think
Yeah.
it's there's like red, and white or something. It was maybe the center line was red, and I just I had them set in the middle.
right. So if you keep it on that neutral point, if you do go out past neutral, you got to use your tip steering to steer.
Okay,
So if you
otherwise you risk
forget to
fall.
pull it, if you forget to pull it into neutral and you come in for a landing and pull the brake, your wing could possibly collapse. So
Okay.
you got to be really careful. And when you're flying, if you're past neutral, to look on your obviously look at your manual. If you're past neutral and you pull brake, you possibly could do have a collapse also.
Mhm.
So past neutral is tip steering. And have you used your tip steering on
I
your?
haven't used the tip steering yet. And the Kona, like I said, the trimmers are really small, and I think I can use brakes at any point on
You
the trimmers
can,
on the
you
Kona.
can, yes.
Um, and that also has tip steering as well, but I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, on most, always look at your manual. Most A wings, they have a small trim setting and they don't have tip steering. If they have tip steering, obviously, if your wing has tip steering, look to see if they say if you're past neutral, don't use brakes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, the Kona has tip steering and a really small trimmer, which is kind of different.
Yeah, I have small trimmers, but no tip steering on my wing.
yeah, so definitely look at your manual before you let the trims all the way out and use brakes. It seems like the Kona probably would allow that, but don't listen to me. Always listen to your manual.
Yeah, for sure.
Very important.
And I experienced tip steering one time on a tandem ride that I did, and it's almost like power, like you just pull it like this, and you're like, it's almost like power steering, which I haven't experienced for myself yet. I haven't felt the resistance of a tip line. It's probably a lot easier to pull than the brake is. I haven't experienced that yet.
Yes, and wait until you have 2D tied in. That's where you have your tip steering and your brakes tied in. Depending on where your arms are and how you do it, you're going to be moving pretty fast. You want to do a nice barrel roll or
yeah, I think I'm really happy with just really slow cruising around currently.
There you go. Me too.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
There's another local guy that flies around. He's got a BGD Luna too.
Yeah.
And he's like a 150-hour pilot, and he cranks and banks all over the place. And at first, when I first got into the sport, I was watching him and I was like, holy crap, that looks scary, And the other day he actually flew right next to me. We were both in the sky side by side. It was probably one of the coolest things I've ever had experienced.
Nice.
What's really interesting though, once you start doing, small wing overs and you start doing, carving the sky where you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
what you look like and look, and feel when you see when you're down on the ground and you're looking up, it looks like you're doing some barrel rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it looks different from the ground than what you're actually doing up in the air. Because I've done some little small S turns and stuff like that, and they thought I was doing some barrel rolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think another thing that I'm going to try to get better at too is just controlling the oscillations. I haven't really gone up and purposely like got the thing swinging, but I think it's probably a good training thing that I can train myself a little bit better to just be able to get rid of that. Because I have gotten knocked around a little bit, but that Kona is so safe, I can just kind of go hands up and it kind of just stabilizes itself eventually. But I think that's one thing I want to do on the next couple flights is I want to kind of swing around a little bit and be able to stop it.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't even feel oscillations or anything anymore. My bump tolerance is so crazy because I go up in some really rowdy air.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, if my tips don't go in at all, to me that's not bumpy. Once my tips start flopping in, then to me I consider it kind of bumpy.
Yeah.
So, and it's amazing what those wings will do. You would be in some crazy air and those wingtips will not collapse.
I didn't really get oscillations till I put it on the trike. And I mean, the best way I could explain it, which Sean will probably, like if you're oscillating, say you go to the right, as the wing's coming back up, that's when you apply brake, and then it'll just even out.
Or I was just thinking of like, if it's swinging to the right, I'm just going to turn right, you know?
Yeah, if you go on through with it. But I mean, if it goes right and it's starting to come back left, give it a little bit of right brake and it'll just stop right in the
Because I did some towing with the instructor here, and on my toes when I first got into this and I didn't really understand, I had that like motorcycle or car mentality where you want to counter steer, and it's like totally opposite with PPG. Is like, if he's like, okay, well, try to do a little bit of a right turn, and I'd pull right and I'd almost pull too much, and I'd be like, oh, I want to go left again, and I did one of these maneuvers and it started going like this, and I'm like, oh crap, like, you know, you don't want to pull left when it's
if you're doing it that way, it'll make it worse. Don't do the wrong.
Right. So worse, I learned that in towing, and now it's like, oh nope, just slowly come out of the brake.
Yeah.
You know, slow inputs in and out is really
going
to keep it stable.
Here's a secret for you too. If you're up high enough and you get some oscillation, just turn one way or the other. If you're you got a Moster 185, right? So that torques to the right, right? So if you got an oscillation, just pull a little bit on the right and do a little turn, and that oscillation will stop. So when you come out of the turn, you don't have the oscillation anymore.
Yep.
That works.
And another thing too that kind of makes me a little bit uneasy sometimes is like my fiance was filming me one day when I took off, and she's like, man, I was so scared for you because you were so far pitched back. She's like, I thought the wing was going to fall behind you. And like sometimes now, ever since she said that, I'll be like doing a full power climb and I look up at the wing and it's like behind me. And I'm like, man, how far can I really let this thing go back?
That guy, Dave, I forget his last name, Garrison or something, when he came to the
he dropped out again.
Right up. But he does some crazy acros, so don't try to copy that.
No. I want to know what like is safe, you know, like how far can I let it fall back? And then like, if I want to build energy, because this is really a fun thing that I did, I think like a couple times in my couple hours flying, is I would come into power and then I would kind of just let it go and let the wing kind of come forward, and just feeling that like that surge come forward is really fun, but I don't want it to come too far forward, or if that's even a thing of concern when it's loaded.
Always a concern, right? So everything, when you're flying paramotor and you got that pendulum, everything that we do up there is energy management, right? So you make a turn, you give it power, you let off the power, everything has energy. So that wing has energy. So right. So as you're going up, if you let go, that energy is still in that wing and it's still wanting to go forward, right? So you have to manage that energy, and you can use your brakes to, you know, keep it from going forward or going back. So what I would
having it come forward is so fun because you get to dive at the ground.
Right. Just be careful how
that's dangerous. Like if you did that whole thing where your wing's behind you and you let off the gas quick, it's going to surge forward real, and then it's going to take a frontal collapse.
Right.
And you're going to splat the ground.
So. No, and I'll as soon as I see it, I'm on the brakes to stop it. But I have felt it where it's just like, oh, and I've watched other pilots do that where they're purposely like, you know, I don't know if it's a safe thing to be doing. And I mentioned it actually to the pilots after I watched them do it, but they would be coming in and they'd just be on the power, off the power, just kind of playing with that up and down kind of, you know, energy.
The porpoise maneuver.
Yeah. So if you use the power, that's porpoising. If you just pull, if you have it, you know, idling and you're pulling, that's called whip stalls. So you're whipping and you're stalling, right? So you stall and then you whip. You stall and then you whip. So that's whip stalls. Power is porpoising. But yeah, it's fun to do. But once again,
you got to be safe when you're doing it, and you know, it's
energy management.
Tough to know like where the safe spot really is.
And the way to do that is to get yourself to an SIV course whenever you feel like you're ready to do that. An SIV course will give you so much more confidence because you'll understand what all your lines do. When you go up there and you pull your A lines, your B lines, and you do frontal collapses, you do horseshoes, you're able to do spirals, flat down spirals, and wingovers in an SIV course. You feel more confident because you know that this wing is not going to collapse. Or if it does collapse, you're pulling everything that you got to collapse it. And as soon as you let go, it's like, whoop, and it's really hard to collapse these wings. It's really a good thing. I would suggest anybody that is able to get out there and do an SIV course. They're really awesome.
But I also at the same time don't know if I'm ever going to be, I say that now, but I don't know if I'm ever going to be a pilot that's really, being the risky type. But
no, it's not about risky. It's like what happens if something happens, you get to know what your wing does. So you go through your SIV course, but you never do acro when you're flying a paramotor, right? Because that's different, right? What I like to do is go to the SIV courses so I can feel what the wing does. You're in a free flight harness, you get towed up so you don't have the motor on your back, and you can really feel and you get to know what each of these lines do. What happens if this gets pulled over here? What happens if this gets pulled? What happens if you get a collapse? You have to recollapse your wing sometimes to reinflate your wing. So it really just helps you when you get into really rowdier wind and you advance into more rowdier wind, you get to know what your wing actually does. So an SIV course is not an acro course. An SIV course is to understand what your wing does in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to throw a reserve so you can actually feel what a reserve throw feels like in real life.
Yeah, that scares me, even thinking about having to throw a reserve, or even if it's like intentional throw, like what you would do in an SIV, it still is nerve wracking to think about.
It's nerve-wracking until you do it, and then it's like, oh, no big deal.
Really?
Just like driving a car. When you first get into a car at 16 years old, it's nerve-wracking. Now you probably drive across town and you don't even remember putting on your seatbelt or pressing the gas or brake or even how you got there. So, I mean, nerve-wracking when you're first learning stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's how this whole sport has been. This entire progression is it's scary at first, and then once you do it, it's like you're overwhelmingly confident.
Yes.
Never stop learning, man. You learn every day.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's the way to do it.
Well, Kevin said he had to go. So he said, hope everyone has a
fun.
great night. And yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock. So we've been talking for a long time. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. And I know Will Fly usually has to get out of here pretty quick too. So thank you
Me
for
too.
hanging out with us.
Yeah, man.
So once
This is
again,
great.
Hunter, let everybody know your .com, what you do, how to get up with you, and we'll let you go. And we'll say goodbye to everybody else on the panel.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was really fun. I hope we can do it again sometime and talk more and keep learning. But yeah, I mainly do car stuff. We build hot rods, do dyno tuning, stuff like that. I recently got into the paramotor stuff, been documenting most of it on my YouTube channel and my personal Facebook page. But yeah, my YouTube channel is called Hunter Tuned, and my website is huntertuned.com. And my personal Facebook page, you guys can add me as a friend or whatever if you want on there. It's Hunter Mulhollon. You guys can see my name here on the screen. Just type that on Facebook. You can add me as a friend and follow along with my progression with PPG. And can't wait to get up and go fly again.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Hunter. I definitely appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Hunter.
Yeah. Like I said, I appreciate you guys too. You guys, what you're doing here is awesome. And yeah, I'm glad to be a part of it.
I hope you can come back every week and be part of the panel.
Yes,
Yeah.
welcome. That's right.
Yes.
Thank you, Hunter. Be safe out there.
Yeah, thank you. You guys too.
Thanks.
Thank you, buddy.
See ya.
All right. So, Linda Anderson, your turn to say goodbye, ma'am.
Goodbye. No, thank you, chatters and listeners and all that stuff for hanging with us tonight. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate y'all on Monday nights. I appreciate my panel too. And next week is our 200th show. Para peeps out there in Paraland. So come join us. Jump in the Zoom. Join the party. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I've got January, I have January 15th and January 22nd. I already have guests for both those days. You guys saw the calendar, the booking calendar there. So I'm pretty excited about that. I still have the 29th is open and the 8th. So January 8th and 29th is open. So if you guys have anybody want, send them over to me. You know, I really appreciate it. And, you know, I get on it and get them on the show. So I don't know if you want to do New Year's Day, if that's something you're thinking about, Sean.
I don't know.
So-
We'll just see what happens because you know we got the 25th Christmas and New Year's Day. I mean, hey, I guess we could, you know, see what happens. We can keep those days open, obviously.
Yeah.
And we'll just go with the roll, right?
Okay. So we'll just kind of concentrate on next Monday. And you know, I think it'll be a fun show. So if you want to be a guest on the show, on my show, go to paramomusa.com and takes you to my Facebook page and let me know that just say, hey, I want to be on your show and I'll get you set up just like Hunter. And then you can join our panel too if you want. So, and hang with us every Monday night because this is the place to be on Monday, right here, right here.
Absolutely. Don't you have a famous son that you want to throw a spot in real quick?
Oh, sorry, the coffee kicked in. Yes, Thursday night, paraglidingtalk.com with your host, Robert Michaels, my other awesomest son. And we always have a really good time on his show, talking paraglider, sometimes paramotors, some, you know, talk about everything, safety, all that stuff. So, yeah, check it out, Hunter, on Thursday nights, paraglidingtalk.com. Robert's been paragliding since 2017. And so I started progressively watching his shows, and then and now look at me. Now I'm doing this show and he's doing his show. So that's so cool.
Yep.
I like that.
Here's where you are. If you go to paramomusa.com, some pictures of Linda, her bio, and of course, how to get to her Facebook page.
Yep. So that's how I got my name Paramom, is because Robert flies in the air. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate everything you
Thank
do.
you.
I can't believe that we're going to be on our 5th season come January 1st. That's crazy.
So fun. So fun.
We also got Will Fly from Will Fly PPG. He's the one that has made the spinny wheel of Winnie Things. He made it his own. We definitely thank you. You can always find him over at willflyppg.com. But tell us a little bit about what you do and all your cool stuff that you do, Mr. Will Fly.
Yeah, well, I participate in this really cool show on Monday nights at 8 p.m. You got to check it out. It's called, isn't it now? runintothesky.org or run into the sky. How are we doing that now, Sean?
I know.
Run into the sky, right?
So because this was, you know, just a regular podcast, but what we did is we integrated into our Run Into the Sky nonprofit. So you can actually, so this is actually a nonprofit podcast. So you can always find us over at runtothesky.org, and our podcast is paratalk.org.
Cool. Well, so I do that, and then I fly paramotors. I like to make videos about it. I just hit 15,000 subscribers, so I'm kind of excited about that. Thanks to my
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Congrats.
And
Wait, I got to put the party thing on my reactions here. I love this thing. I've been having fun with this tonight.
There it is.
See?
yeah, look at that. You created a monster. So, yeah, no, just I love flying. I've always loved flying, and I've got to spend a lot of time flying airplanes. And tell you, paramotoring just scratches all the itches, and it does it so much nicer. I mean, you're up there with the nature and just you. And I don't know. I was talking to somebody today, and I said that the only time I ever feel 100% okay, and I mean 100%, is when I'm flying in a paramotor. So yeah, great show. Thanks for joining us, Hunter. Really appreciate it. And back to you, Shane. Oh, willflyppg.com will take you to my YouTube channel, or you can just search for Will Fly.
Excellent. And Angela Preslick just became a blue wrench holder.
Whoa, right on.
Whoa.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Got a
wait a minute.
spanner.
She gets the party. She gets the party hat.
The big
Night
time.
thing here.
Yeah,
There we
definitely.
go.
And of course, we got Scooby Steve from paramotordude.com.
There you go. I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet because Angela, what the heck?
Angela.
Linda and Will, because Sean said Angela. Linda and Will took up all the time. Yeah, paramotordude.com will take you over to my YouTube channel, or you can look up Scuba Vapes. I don't know if Hunter said he had a vape shop or not on one of his videos. I think he did, but yeah.
Yeah, I actually used to have a vape store. So
There you go. So yeah, I thought you said that, but I wasn't 100%. So yeah, I talk a lot about vaping, and then when I talk about paramotors, they get mad at me, but they're just got to deal with it. Some people on the channel actually like it, so I have to. You got to kind of please both of them at the same time. But yeah,
That's it.
50-50.
There you go. So
Yeah. When we talk about cooking.
oh
should-
man, it's a grab
the
bag of
comments,
stuff
I gotta
on
throw
Friday
cookies.
nights when it comes to me. So
It's so fun.
in Munchkin.
It's fun. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Sean Symons, PPG Grandpa. This is 4th season, episode 199. Make sure you join us next week for episode 200. If you've been on our show and want to be on here, or if you just want to be on here for that 200th episode, get up with Linda Anderson by going to paramomusa.com and get up with her so you can be on her show. Hunter, thank you so much, buddy, for being on the show.
Yep. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you, everyone. We definitely appreciate you. And we'll see you next week here on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, clearproptv.com, and paratalk.org. All right. Well, I'll see you next time when we run into this guy.
Hi, guys.
Peace.